Welcome back to another episode of FeedTslk featuring
Juli Thea
and I, Thea Alvarez. Every episode, Julie and I invite researchers, content creators, or celebrities to talk about various topics ranging from personal growth to creativity to deep conversations that will surely keep you guys engaged. So maybe grab a coffee or some tea as you relax while listening to another episode of FeedTslk.
Yeah, with that, our topic today relates to social media, specifically the tug of war between social addiction and withdrawal. We'll dive into how social media forms unhealthy habits, which lead users to feel hooked with it, causing addiction while also pushing them to withdraw or isolate themselves. And this is a conversation that is worth hearing from different perspectives, which is why we invited a couple of researchers who study why these platforms influence our habits and well-being.
So let's meet our guests. Let's welcome Luis Acuna, David Kausapin, Michael Hambalos, and Mark Angel Desado. Hello, welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello. It wasn't that easy to contact you guys, so we are really glad you could make it.
We can say the same.
So
I can say the same.
So Luis, David, Michael, and Angel are four brilliant researchers who specialize in studying social media in general. And they will help us determine the key factors why these platforms lead to internet addiction, together with emotional and social withdrawal. In addition to that, they will also help us find solutions on how we can balance staying connected while also maintaining healthy habits away from social media.
To begin, social media is quite relevant, especially in this age. It is commonly used for news, entertainment, conversations, and even expression. With everything that social media has to offer, you can't deny that it heavily benefits and entertains our day-to-day lives. However, to what point does it become addictive?
Well, there have been many statistical reports showing that an average person's daily screen time has increased. Since 2013, it has escalated by 50 minutes, with Gen Z leading the charts, averaging 90 hours per day. This data covers more than 40% of persons' waking hours.
Well, studies have also shown that dopamine plays a big part in this addiction. Certain brain regions, specifically the part responsible for processing rewards, light up when an individual uses social media. Notifications and likes trigger a release of dopamine, encouraging a user to be more active on the platform.
Yes, and with what Sir David mentioned, these platforms have their own features that encourage a user to be more active on it. This is because social media applications are designed to have this continuous feed. A great example of this with TikTok. It has a section of the app called the For You page, which is an endless feed of 1 minute or longer videos. Users tend to lose track of time and often fail to set limitation. This easy access design provides instant gratification, which leaves them addicted.
I have also read somewhere that these short-minute videos are way more addictive than the long ones found in YouTube. They say that it is because short-form videos like those on TikTok or Instagram Reels are designed to capture attention quickly. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. This is because they deliver fast entertainment, often within 15 to 60 seconds, which makes it easier for the brain to process and crave more.
Oh, alright. Well, moving on. Are there any factors that make social media so addictive? What about from Michael? Do you have anything to add?
Oh, well, I do have another factor to mention, which is also a pretty important one. Influence. A user can be heavily influenced through another user, especially someone who promotes certain habits or products. Sometimes this does more harm than good. Because everyone is prone to misinformation, people who idolize certain content creators or influencers are likely to be constantly updated to them, usually creating an unhealthy fixation.
So if the influencer spreads false information, it spreads quickly to their followers too.
Yes, you're getting it.
Okay. So now we're done with that question. We now know that platforms have short videos which promote fast entertainment, and we also found out that these short videos can heavily influence users. And there are many times that the information they promote lead to more harm than good. Moving on, since we now know how social media is so easily addictive, what I think it's time for another question. Julie, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. How can heavy social media use lead to emotional or social withdrawal? And I would like to hear the answer of Angel. I don't think we have heard from him yet.
Oh, all right. By relating to what Mikey mentioned about influence, when people spend a lot of time on social media, it can slowly start to mess with how they feel about themselves and their status in life. It's easy to get caught up in comparing your life with others posting online, even though it isn't real or just a highlight reel. The constant comparison can make someone feel that they're not doing good enough or not doing good at all, which can lead to pulling back emotionally. On top of that, the more time someone spends online, the less they feel connected with the people around them in real life. The social media gives a quick hits of validation, likes, comments, reaction, which can feel good in moments but does not last. Can I also add something from what Angel said?
Yeah, go. Yes, go.
To add to what Angel said, all of this can quietly build up, making a person feel more alone and less motivated to connect with others face to face. Over time, that disconnection can become a habit, where being online feels safer than showing up in real life.
Okay, so to summarize, when you spend too much time on social media, it can slowly affect your perception of these platforms. It can start from small things like, let's say, comparing yourself to others, to the people online with perfect lives. Once that becomes your mindset, it can shape your habits and how you interact with others in real life.
So, with what you're saying, it means that the more you get used to scrolling online or consuming content like that, the more it will affect your perspective without you even noticing.
Exactly. It's a silent kind of loneliness, one that hides behind screens and filters, but runs painfully deep.
I think that's a very important reminder because sometimes we don't realize how much influence social media really has on us. It's easy to think it's just entertainment, but it can affect our self-esteem, our productivity, and even how we value ourselves compared to others.
So, I have another question though, and it's quite related to the most recent question Julie asked. Can social media addiction and withdrawal happen to the same person at different times?
Yes, same person can definitely experience social media addiction and withdrawal happen at different times. Withdrawal happens when heavy users stop or reduce time online. This brings irritability, mood swings, and anxiety and restlessness. The urge to return is strong. Emotional stress makes the process harder. You might feel like you are missing out. You might think you are less connected to friends. These feelings make it difficult to stay offline. Addiction and withdrawal shift over time. A person spends long hours online, then decides to cut back. Withdrawal symptoms appear in the first days.
So, you all have mentioned that social media can greatly influence a person. That can affect our lifestyle because it causes withdrawal. However, what signs should we look for to know if online use is becoming unhealthy?
Well, there are three main indications to tell whether we have truly become addicted to social media. First, becoming too reliant on the internet, whether it's to soothe your sadness, alleviate your boredom, or remove stress. This poses a problem if we make it into a habit, since even if it gives us the dopamine that we think we need for the moment, we will always want to get more. For example, we scroll through TikTok for 1 hour per day. Over time, the dopamine we receive from that 1 hour becomes less rewarding, resulting in scrolling more to satisfy our sense of pleasure. Second, not being able to balance online usage with our day to day activities. If simple habits before have become something difficult to do now because of being too focused on the online world, then that's a sign that you can't balance online and reality. And lastly, when you use the internet as a means to escape from your problems in real life, while it isn't all that bad to use the online world as a way to cope with your problems, too much of this becomes dangerous for your health. This may be comforting at first, but over time, this choice results in a gap between an overwhelming reality and an online world full of dopamine, which then leads you to want to engage with the internet even more.
I see. Those are really strong points. And that is pretty eye opening. But I wonder, what do you think is the most common sign that most people overlook?
So honestly, I think the one people tend to overlook the most is not being able to balance online usage with day-to-day activities. It's easy to notice when you're scrolling too much, but it's harder to admit that things like sleep, schoolwork, or even just spending time with family are being affected. And because it feels normal to always be connected, we don't realize how much of our real life responsibilities are slipping away.
That's such an important reminder. It really shows how easy it is to miss those subtle signs in our everyday routines. With that in mind, let's move on and talk about how we can actually manage or prevent this kind of addiction. Now, how can we strike a balance between staying connected and maintaining offline relationships?
Hmm. Online communication gives the feeling of being close, but in most cases, it does not have the richness and genuineness as achieved from face to face communication. Balance will only be achieved through deliberate efforts that focus on being real. People can keep in touch, be aware, and active at a distance with the help of digital platforms. Yet, overdependence on them may cause social dependence and undermine face to face relationships.
Yeah, designating screen-free periods, using social media in supportive ways only, and encouraging real-life interactions are the practices that will help make sure that offline relationships stay strong. Such personal relationships bring about trust, empathy, and meaning that cannot be entirely maintained using digital interactions.
Are there any ways that we can prevent addiction and withdrawal?
There are many, so I'll only state a few. Protect yourself by setting clear rules. Limit scrolling to under 30 minutes a day. Turn off signs to pull you back in. Use social media to plan meetings in person instead of replacing them. Mute accounts that make you feel insecure. Put your phone away during meals or studies. These steps lower your addiction and withdrawal symptoms.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. And I believe that those are quite small but very impactful habits that we, including our listeners, can begin starting today. To conclude, as we wrap up today's episode, I think that one thing is clear. Social media has become a huge part of our lives. It connects us, it entertains us, and even informs us. But at the same time, it can quietly shape our habits, our emotions, and even our self worth in many ways we don't always notice. From the endless scroll of short videos to the influence of online personalities, it's quite easy to get caught up and forget to draw boundaries.
We learned many things, but specifically, we learned today is that social media addiction often shows up in small, everyday ways, like relying on it to cope, losing balance with our real life responsibilities, or constantly comparing ourselves to others. And when that happens, it can lead to withdrawal, loneliness, and a disconnect from the people around us.
Yes, and at the end of the day, it's not about avoiding social media completely, but about learning how to use it mindfully. So it adds value to our lives instead of taking away from it. So, to everyone listening, enjoy the benefits of social media. But don't forget to look up from the screen once in a while. The real world deserves
We thank
just as
you.
much of our attention.
We thank you, Louise, David, Michael, and Angel, for sharing your wonderful research. Understanding that truly inspired us and hopefully our listeners the benefits and disadvantages that social media has.
We
We
thank
thank
you
you
too.
too.
Once again, I am Julian Care.
And I'm Anastasia Alvarez. Thank you for tuning in to FeedTslk. Bye. Thank you.